I want to thank you for joining me once again out here in the not so dusty workshop now. I built myself a grinding room. All of my dust stays in here. Pretty nice. Alright, I have a really cool Bowie plan for today. I'm going to bring you guys over to the bench, and we're going to get started. I have all the supplies that I will need here for the first starting billet. Some 1095 plus 4% nickel powder. 52-100 ball bearings. I'm going to put these canister at the top on. And we'll weld it shut, and we'll get it all forge welded into one single piece of steel. So I went ahead and just took the corners off there. That's usually where you'll get just a couple small cracks, just because the corners don't get as much pressure on them. So I just grind them off. I'm going to go ahead and get this in the forge again, and I'm going to start flattening it out. I'm not going to take it all the way down because we have one more forge welding operation to do. I'm just going to get it down to the right size to start the final billet. So I have my ball bearing billet. A bit more here than I'll need. The next step is going to be sandwiching some of this billet in between some stainless steel. So I'm going to go ahead and take you in the grinding room. We're going to get these cleaned up, get them cut, and then we'll get them all welded together. After a quick test etch, this is our core material. Still have to clean up the other side. Need to make it flat, perfectly flat, and clean it up to about 220 grit. Gives me the best bond between the core steel and the stainless jacket. So I'm going to go finish getting this cleaned up, and it'll be time to weld up our final billet and forge us out some amazing knife stock. Now it's time to wash these with a little bit of acetone. This just removes any of the dust or grease from my hands. So I have it drawn out to, it's about, say, 18 to 20 inches long. Still really nice and thick. We're a little over 2 inches wide, which is perfect. I'm going to let this cool off. And I'm going to cut the ends off, grind the sides, just make sure that we have good steel, and then get started on this really, really cool knife. After thinning it out a little bit, I had a bit of a delamination issue down the edge of one side of the billet. So I went ahead and took it into the grinding room and cut off the bad parts. And I was left with two decent sized pieces. I was hoping they'd be a little bigger, but we will make do with what we've got. So I'm actually going to start with this one, because I'm aiming for this kind of blade. There should be just enough material here to draw it out to a nice hidden tang. So I'm going to go back in the forge and draw these out just a little bit more. So I have a rough shape all forged out. It's not quite as wide. It's real close. It's within like a 1/16 of an inch. So that's going to be just fine for this. I'm going to use this to kind of trace the basic blade shape on, and then I am going to get this profiled, and we can finally reveal that really awesome pattern that's hiding inside the steel. So the rough grinding is done. Next it will be time to heat treat, but I wanted to show you guys a quick test etch, and I think that looks really, really cool. In person, it looks quite a bit better than on camera. There's a lot more detail. And we will be uncovering a bit more of the core even after heat treat. I'm going to grind all the way up to the spine. So then we'll expose a bit more of the core, but I'm really happy with how that's looking. So I've done the initial etch, and that just kind of gets us the depth that we want. And it does look really cool. I'm loving how this is turning out. I am going to do a coffee etch after I do one last cleanup on this. But before I do that, I'm going to get the handle and the guard fit. guard and the butt cap rough forged. So I'm going to go into the grinding room and get these all cleaned up. I test etched the guard and the butt cap. That looks really pretty cool. So, first I'm going to mill a slot, get this fit up to the knife, and it'll be time to do the final grinding on that, get that all fit up. While the guard and butt cap are tempering, I am going to coffee etch the blade. I'll leave that in there for a few hours. And I'm going to check it and see what our colors look like. We're out of the coffee etch. I am quite pleased with how that turned out. The guard has been etched. I'm going to leave it kind of dark. In person, the contrast is a little more evident than on camera, but I like it. But I like that it's a little bit darker than the blade. So now, just need to finish the handle and the butt cap, and we can get this all glued up. So I have etched the butt cap. And now, all I really have to do is glue the handle. And this knife will be totally complete. The handle has been glued. And this knife is totally done. I want to thank you for watching me build that incredible Bowie knife. I am very pleased with how the steel turned out, doing the ball bearing canister Damascus stainless sandmine on the outside. Really turned out nice, and I'm excited to be making more things like this. Kind of have a thing for stainless sandmine, just the way the stainless interacts with the carbon steel. Really cool, I think. So, I want to thank you guys for watching. You can subscribe if you want to see more cool videos. I have a really cool project planned for about a week or so from now, and that one's going to be even crazier. We're going to be putting 3 different types of metal together, and only one of them is going to be steel. So I'm very excited for that. I want to thank you guys one more time, and you have a wonderful rest of your day.